Okay, hello and welcome back to the MSDynamicsWorld.com Spring CRM Webcast Series. I'm Jason Gumpert, and I'm really happy to welcome you to today's event, showcasing different dynamic CRM solutions. We have subject matter experts on the line from our four Webcast Series sponsors, and they are going to each spend a few minutes sharing the latest and greatest on their companies and their solutions. And I'd just like to add, we've had some really great sessions in this Spring CRM series. I'd invite you to check out past sessions on MS Dynamics recorded webcast section. And we have even more events planned going into July that you'll find under the live events link on our site. But without further delay, let's get this session going. We have four presenters. The order of presentations today will be Brett Thompson of Core Motives, Kevin Miller of Sales Fusion, Pierre Hulsebus of Scribe Software, and Megan Berner of Click Dimensions. We will be taking questions for our speakers at the end, so feel free to utilize the chat and the Q&A blocks that you see on the right side of the screen right now to ask your questions anytime, and we will get to as many of those as we can at the end. So let me begin with our first presenter, Brett Thompson.
And I'm with Silverpop, and Core Motives is part of the Silverpop group, and so I'm happy to spend a bit of time with you and talk about marketing today. So we're going to look at several different things along the way, and I will, let's see, let me just move over here so that I can share my screen and get everything going on that. Okay. Just a moment, please. Okay, great. So you should be seeing my screen. So I've got about 12 minutes here, so I'm going to go through a few different things to talk a little bit about who we are and a bit about some of the things that we do and show you some really cool stuff right inside Microsoft CRM that's related to marketing. So we are a marketing automation company, and our products actually enable people to do the things that you see on the screen. Those will be email, and the emails could be one-off emails where we're detecting engagement of opens and clicks and things such as this, or mass quantity mailings that may go to several 100,000 people at one time and take them through a behavioral path that would include click tracking, where we would score that behavior, send people out to specific landing pages and understand, are they coming from AdWords where we're spending money, and push that data back into CRM so we really get a good clear picture of how everything comes together. So a little bit about who we are in kind of a broad sense, because we've got several people on the line and we want everyone to have a great opportunity to show a bit about their product and so forth. But we have 1,600 implementations of the solution that we'll be looking at today, with over 5,000 clients worldwide using our products. And we offer this solution that you'll be looking at today in things such as Japanese and Swedish and French and German, and because we're deployed in 45 countries around the world. It's been a lot of fun to watch Microsoft CRM be adopted globally and really grow as a trusted solution, and we've been riding that wave all the way with versions of our product from CRM 3.0 through 2011, and across all the different flavors for deployment types, Office 365 being incredibly popular these days, along with some of the more classic methods. And you know, one of the things is that a lot of people do come to us from other solutions, so we've got a lot of experience with that, and over 500 employees in our company totally, with offices in London, in California. I'm actually in Atlanta, Georgia, which is why I talk a little bit funny, but in Sydney, Australia, and Munich, Germany, and South Africa, a few things like that. So people can get started with our product in about 15 minutes. So a lot of people really love that when it comes to marketing automation. So I thought I would bring up some of the world's best brands that not only run Microsoft CRM, but actually run our solution as well. So we're super proud of that. But you know, companies like BMW or the New York Jets or Boeing or Everbank, the Miami Dolphins, actually we're just training them live this week. So they're utilizing all of these different marketing features to reach their audience, because really it's about an audience, and it's about trying to understand what is the best way that we as marketers can communicate with our constituents groups. And we all have different things that we need to learn about the best ways to do that. And we think that we call this behavioral marketing. And we think it's a bit different than maybe the classic approach where you would have been broadcasting messages to a mass quantity of people. But today, with marketing automation tools like what we offer, people can really be contacted in a way that's important to them, on a device that's relevant to them, and at a time that's most appropriate for when they are engaging in some sort of buying behavior. And this could take place all the way across multiple things. You know, as a marketer, I've been in marketing for 20 years myself. I've been using Microsoft CRM since version 1.0, and I've deployed it in 12 countries around the world. So understanding all the different cultures and ways and devices and things that have come about to all of us with social and mobile and web and messaging and email, and connecting that back into Microsoft CRM, it's overwhelming. And so that's one of the things that we really try and do around here is spend a lot of time teaching people about the best ways to leverage technology. And one of the technologies that we find extremely interesting is what we call a digital ID. And that digital ID is something that's relative to you as an individual, and it spans across things like your Surface device or your iPad, your Facebook page, your mobile device, your laptop, your desktop machine at work, your web behavior, all of those different types of things. We've come up with a way that can connect individual people's behavior across multiple devices and allow marketers to speak to those people in a way that's very effective and relevant to them. So one of the most popular things is still email. Email is a huge part of what we do, and being able to outperform your competition by delivering these individualized messages that are based on all kinds of things like subject line personalization, and having those be dynamically driven from CRM data fields. Maybe you understand what city someone's in or what product group that they might have purchased with, and based on information you've gathered along the way, you can, as you move forward with that client, discover ways that you can offer up additional products to them that may be relevant. A bit of an Amazon.com style of how they're suggesting things, and that type of engagement is fascinating to me, and I'm just so excited about how marketing has come forward, and us ourselves as we've developed our company and it's grown so widely. People are grasping on to marketing automation tools like, maybe I never thought that they would years before, and that's part of why we're having this time today. So, but beyond email, there's the concept of really the web, and how can you deliver a truly individualized, personalized experience for people on your website. We ourselves spend a lot of time on that here at Silverpop. So let me just pull over. I just want to pull over silverpop.com. If you've got a moment to go out and check it out, it's really cool because it's dynamically driven, where if you can interact anonymously, we're detecting how you're behaving, we're serving up products and suggestions along the way. We ask for a few pieces of information. As you give us a little bit of that information, we recognize that, we remember who you are. We do that across multi-devices, and then we actually will serve up more relevant content to you as you come back and spend more time with us along the way. So this is, of course, as I said before, going across social and mobile and location-based devices. And at our company, it's amazing. Actually, last month we sent 4.7 billion emails through our platform for our clients. And this is just a bit of a taste of just how much interaction that we're managing across email that's being delivered, and scoring that we're capturing, and triggering all kinds of behavioral messages along the way from that. So let me just take a moment and move back over to my web browser in a little bit of time I have with you, and let's focus on Microsoft CRM. This is what we're all here about, and this is what we love. So this is our product right inside CRM. I've got a bit of a view that's talking about email marketing, and we're using CRM charts and dashboards and so forth, where we can click on those and let this dynamically sink down into specifically what that bar represents, or being able to change that and other things like that. Or maybe just if we took a moment and looked at an email marketing message that's been created with our product in Microsoft CRM, and it's been sent out. So this one's been sent. From here, we get a nice clean view of precisely what's going on. How many people are opening that message? How many are unsubscribing? Maybe we want to visualize that interaction as a heat map as well, or maybe we want to just get right down into the nitty-gritty of which ones of those have had a hard bounce. And in a scenario like this particular person, we can click on that person's name in CRM, and we know immediately that Kevin worked at Weight Watchers. We can move down to the preferences and take a look at that update that's occurred because of a hard bounce email where the person no longer works there. Our solution is updated CRM, and then it's going to filter that. If you tried to send Kevin something again in the future, we just filter that right out because we know that Kevin no longer works there. So I wanted to show a little bit of that. Now, in terms of actually how someone would build something out, then right inside here, this is a draft message, so I could type my own name, or I could move in and use a drop-down that's got all of my related fields in CRM. Maybe I want to pull in some related data, such as the parent account number, and that's all in plain English, and so those schema-level names will pop in, but the marketer can focus on things they understand, like account name and so forth. Or maybe what I would want to do is make my message a bit more social, tying back into my slides. So if I wanted to add something like social media sharing, I just select it from a list, and then when my email goes out, if someone wants to share that email message on their Facebook wall, all they have to do is click the Facebook button. So lots of things here, and only time to go through a few of those, but if I switch back for a moment and focus on myself and I think about the contact record in CRM, all of this data is pulling right back in CRM. We try to make it really easy for people to do things like send SMS messages. Right in that ribbon bar, they can click a button and fire off an SMS message. And not only is that message gone out, but any replies back to that are threaded right inside CRM, just like this right here. So if I pull up that custom SMS activity, I can see that right in CRM in the activity history. So furthermore, I might want to do a few other things like use Outlook to send a message. That helps with user adoption. You know, our guys love and gals love Outlook. So if you want to leverage Outlook from right inside CRM, we have a little button called Mailgun, or manage how someone's subscribing to your messages, or trigger off a one-off message that does all that tracking, or drop someone into a nurture campaign right from within the CRM interface. So, you know, I don't really have too much time, but I'm just going to touch one more thing on capturing data back into CRM. This would be a web form. And so this is a web form builder right in CRM where we could just go in and say, you know what, I would like to add something like a star rating. And then I can just move over here and pick what I want that to look like in CRM directly from here, or go out and preview what does my form look like. Got some images in that form, and I can protect my database with a CAPTCHA and have all of that data trapped information flow right back in CRM, fire off workflow if I want to, or set up additional tasks, or deliver a nurture routine, all of those things right from within inside CRM. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's about really being able to put together a program in a simple way that you as a marketer, where you want to engage with someone based on maybe email or web analytics or some sort of what we might call relational data from an e-commerce platform or social media. All of those different kinds of things we've tied into our behavioral marketing system, and we enable companies to interact off of that. And this can be, you know, done simple drag and drop where the typical people can understand it, but it really related into a whole host of all kinds of things from the marketing perspective that you guys might want to pull into what you're doing. And I would really just wrap up that, you know, the worst thing you can do is nothing, and it's great that all of you are on this call because you're going to learn a lot from my good friends here on the call with us today. But this image to me says it all. This is an album cover from the 70s from a band called the Status Quo, and you know, you just can't stay where you are because you can learn a lot with the really cool tools that are available. I hope you learned a lot today. We ourselves actually created 63 white papers last year just on the topic of marketing automation and how to get the most out of marketing automation. Everything from multi-screen design, so that when you're designing communications, you can understand how can I communicate effectively on an iPad versus a 17-inch monitor or an iPhone or something like that. We actually had 1,800 people sign up to that webinar, which was remarkable. People are very thirsty for that kind of information. We also do a lot of those types of thought leadership initiatives.
We're at time here.
Okay, around other things such as lead scoring and shopping cart abandonment, so forth and so on. So we just invite you to come out to our website and spend a little bit of time. You can always register for a presentation there. We'll take you through all of this in much more detail than 12 minutes.
All right, thank you, Rhett. And next for presenting is Kevin Miller from Sales Fusion. I will give you control now, Kevin.
Okay.
And you now have, well, it is changing over to you now.
All right. Thank you. Rhett, you're a tough act to follow, but I'll do my best. Let me bring this up here a sec. Okay, so let me go ahead and start my stopwatch here so I know where I'm at and all this. And again, appreciative for the folks at Microsoft Dynamic World for the opportunity to talk to you all today. My name is Kevin Miller. I'm the CMO at Sales Fusion. We are a marketing automation platform and have been an ISV partner for Microsoft Dynamics for some time now. A couple of things that we're going to cover today, kind of a state of marketing automation and CRM, kind of what's going on in the industry. There's a lot of activity and things happening in our mutual industries, marketing automation and CRM, and we'll talk a little bit about why those things are happening. About Sales Fusion, briefly, who we are, why we think we have the right to be talking to everybody today as experts on marketing automation. And then we'll touch a little bit on Sales Fusion for Microsoft Dynamics, just to kind of paint a picture of what we've done with our marketing automation platform and how we've made that work inside of Microsoft. A little bit on our core value proposition, what we believe to be our unique benefits that we bring to the table maybe. And then a brief demonstration. We'll jump over into Dynamics and show you some of the work that we've done over the years. So a little bit about Sales Fusion, industry-leading marketing platform we have as a company, been around now since 2007. We actually started our work with Microsoft CRM in 2009, and really we are focused very much so on the entire lead lifecycle, from the point that we capture leads, whether we're capturing those folks on the web, through forums, or through social interactions, or otherwise, about capturing that lead and nurturing and following that lead straight through opportunity and closure, and then the subsequent ROI analysis. And there's a lot of work we've done with Forrester on this matter, through webinars and white papers with them, talking about this whole notion of lead to revenue management. And we believe that that's kind of where marketing automation is starting to work towards. We are a full-blown marketing automation solution, but we've actually built on top of a CRM architecture. So our actual underlying database that Sales Fusion runs on is a CRM-style database. And the reason we did that from the get-go was it was our belief that marketing automation was a natural complement to CRM systems, so that if we had the same table structure as a Microsoft or another CRM, we could integrate at a much deeper level and provide native integration. Known for world-class service and training, Sales Fusion puts out usually 2 live training classes a day, plus we have Sales Fusion University at our headquarters in Atlanta, plus we have an exciting Fuse conference in Orlando, Florida that we do each year at the Hard Rock. We really kind of take training to a very high level. And as Rhett mentioned, with SilverPop and what they do with their excellent educational materials that they put out on the market, people are very thirsty to learn about marketing automation. It's generally a technology that is adapting rapidly. It's adapting to the new channels that present themselves to professional marketers on a day in and day out basis. So it's a very fluid, changing technology. And people really need to understand best practices behind it, how to build a good nurture campaign, what's the content I need to create or procure to drive nurture campaigns, etc. It's really, bulk email blasts are very much a thing of the past in terms of a useful B2B marketing tool. We really have to understand how to use the new tools in a multi-channel manner in order to be successful. 400 plus companies with about 10,000 users use Sales Fusion's platform in 21 countries. One of our most telling statistics that we're proud of is 99% of our customers who connect Sales Fusion into their CRM system stay our customers for a very long time, and many of our customers that we have today have been with us since we started. Predictable pricing model. I mean, one of the scary things for folks when they look at marketing automation is they've been using Constant Contact or MailChimp or an email tool that may cost $99 a month, and they've got to make that leap up. So certainly there has to be some investment made in marketing automation because it is in fact an enterprise class product. But we've made it very easy for customers to have a nice predictable model. We don't base it on our email volumes or things like that, so that makes it a little bit easier for them to adopt. A little bit about marketing automation and CRM. One of the neatest things that I sat through was a presentation from Gartner, and they talked about the fact that they believe the CMO's budgets at companies is going to exceed the CIO's budgets by 2017. The rationale behind that, if you think about that for a second, a marketer's budget for IT products is going to exceed that of a CIO's budget. The reason for that is that all lead generation, a good portion of selling, how we capture and attract leads, is fundamentally done online. The days of sales owning the flow of information out of a company into prospects are long since gone. Many prospects who buy from us today are self-selling using the web. And Serious Decisions, a really great analyst firm that covers lead to revenue management space, will tell you that in their research, 70% of a sales cycle is nearly complete by the time somebody actually talks to one of your salespeople. And the implications of that are stark. If people are self-selling, if people are using this notion of what we call the social web, the combination of your website, blogs, social media outlets, etc., to interact with you, if you don't have a way of identifying who these people are, where they're interacting with you, and how you can insert yourself into that quote-unquote digital conversation, you're lost. And Gartner sees that, and he realized that if companies are going to be successful in selling, they have to acquire the technology to keep pace with how people buy products today. That's ultimately what's driving this rapid adoption of marketing automation technology, which is arguably the fastest growing segment in SaaS. It's becoming a core product to CRM, and you look no further than the news and see that Oracle purchased Eloqua, Salesforce purchased ExactTarget/Pardot. Microsoft this year purchased a product known as Marketing Pilot, which is slightly different from the vendors that are on this call today. It's more of an MRM tool than an actual marketing automation tool. But it just shows you that the CRM systems now believe firmly that sales cycles don't work the way they used to. And in order for companies to be successful, marketing automation very quickly will be not a nice to have. It will be which marketing automation is going to support us best with our CRM deployment. What's great about marketing automation relative to CRM is that it adds functionality that transforms a CRM system into a data receiver to a data giver. And what I mean by that is we've all heard salespeople over the years gripe about having to use CRM, and they have to go and they have to enter data into CRM. For its pervasiveness, CRM is not a popular tool amongst its users. Most of its users despise logging in and using the CRM system because, unfortunately, for a long time, CRM systems have taken things from sales. And with marketing automation, with the type of information that Sales Fusion captures throughout the lead life cycle and presents to a salesperson, and I'll show you that, it really changes that, where sales actually look forward to going into the CRM, looking at that marketing intelligence that's been gathered because it helps them sell. So it's information that's actually quite useful to a salesperson. I mentioned a couple of things about Forrester and some of the webinars I've done with those folks and their whole lead management, lead to revenue management take on this whole marketing automation thing. And the one thing I always talk about was why it's so important for marketing automation systems to integrate to CRM. And I'm not, when I use marketing automation, I want to be clear, we're not talking about email tools. We're really talking about the full-blown marketing automation systems. Marketers generally want to push as much into the top of the funnel as they can. Sales wants to cherry pick and work the deals that they think they can close. What tends to happen, though, is if you don't have good automation processes in place, you're going to have a consistent stream of warm leads leaking out of your funnel, and you don't want that to happen. Common things that we integrate with CRM: web page visits, email click-throughs, email campaign history, content downloads, landing pages, data augmentation, event attendance, webinar attendance. This was a study that was done by Aberdeen Group, which looked at what are the most common data points from marketing that are pushed inside of a CRM system. I think what we'll do is we'll actually switch up for a second. On this slide is probably a good jump point to look at inside of CRM. If we go into Microsoft. So in Microsoft, Sales Fusion has built a whole series of native entities that actually install inside of Microsoft. And that would be our website visitor tracking, our email marketing, our hot lead management, our landing page creation, etc. Although the kind of the place at the table functionality that most marketing systems provide. But to that point of which data points will integrate to CRM and how can that information benefit a salesperson, we go in and look at actually a lead record. So we're looking at my record inside of Microsoft. Those categories of data, we put those over here underneath the marketing entity. We actually install several entities. So if a sales rep is getting ready to make a phone call, maybe they get a lead alert that someone came to the site and they did something, they'll come in and they'll see that Kevin Miller's been on my site quite a bit, and they can actually go in and open up one of these web activities and see everything from, the location, the IP address, what browser they're using, down to what search they use to get to the website, down through the actual pages that the person looked at on your website and how long they spent on those pages. So that kind of information, extremely valuable to a salesperson, combined with the typical stuff that marketing systems have integrated in the past, which would be things like email campaigns. I mean, everybody does this. So what email campaigns have been sent? Here's all my email campaigns by subject line. This was the date we sent it. They opened, they clicked, they unsubscribed. This was the delivery message. Useful information for sure. But what really gets sales excited is that whole notion of being able to kind of watch what the prospect did when they came online. This whole notion of this digital conversation where people are self-selling 70% of the sales cycle. If we can give them some insight into what the person has done up until that point when they do connect with them live, it can definitely make for a better first interaction. Then, of course, there's other things that Aberdeen talked about, like event management. Sales Fusion has a whole event management platform that's pre-built into WebEx and Citrix, and it's actually pre-built up to the point where we'll show you who attended which webinars. We'll show you even how long under duration and seconds they sat in a webinar. So again, that's information that salespeople actually care about, more so than a click-through rate or a bounce rate. They care about this stuff because this is what they're going to use when they actually pick up the phone and call someone, or in the case of landing pages and forms. So you go in and you see a form that somebody completed. You're able to actually go in and see in a quick summary how they answered the questions in the form. This is helpful if you're doing a survey or something along those lines, and sales wants to be able to just reference those questions when they speak to them. Now, in addition to those data points, which are native inside of Microsoft, you can run workflow on them, you can run reports on them, et cetera. That data lives inside of database fields. You also have a more visually appealing view, the Sales Fusion button at the top, very popular amongst all of our Microsoft users. When you click on that, essentially what it does is it's going to open up this complete history, starting from a rolling 3-month view of how often somebody comes to my site. And we can kind of see patterns. How often does Kevin come to my site? He comes to my site this day, and he looks at 1 page. He came to my site this day, and he looked at 3. And we can kind of go in and look at the 3 pages he sent. Or we can look at sent emails from a slightly different perspective and say, well, these are all the email campaigns we've ever sent to Kevin, but you can actually go in and give the salesperson an opportunity to pop up that HTML content so that they can see what the prospect saw. And this goes on and on. And I want to thank everybody. That's exactly what I hopefully wanted to leave off with, so I'm glad I got to that in time. Jason, thanks for the opportunity. If anybody wants to learn more about Sales Fusion, please visit us at salesfusion.com. And I will now pass this over to you.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. And
my pleasure.
Next up we have Pierre. I'm sorry if I cut you off there, Kevin, as I'm changing control over here. But next up we have Pierre Halsebus from Scribe Software. And Pierre,
thanks. All right.
Now over to you.
Let's get everything moved over here and share my desktop. Okay, should be able to see my desktop now?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Well, thanks for the time today, everybody. So let's get right to it. Scribe Software is a company. We're located in Manchester, New Hampshire. Our core strengths for our organization, as many of you know, we're really the leading integration solution for the Microsoft Dynamics platform. At Scribe, we've been delivering integration solutions to customers and partners for about 15 years. We have well over 12,000 customers. About half of those are Dynamics CRM customers. So that's a pretty huge number. I don't think really any other integration tool comes up to that bar and matches that. So we were one of the first companies to recognize early on that kind of reality of hybrid environments, especially in the CRM arena. And as a result, our whole portfolio, we really have 2 products, support integrations both in the cloud and on-premise. So to support integrations, we have these 2 different solutions, Scribe Insight and Scribe Online. Our Insight offering is widely deployed. We have about 1,000 deployments every year of that application, and we just continue to grow with it. And we know a lot about CRM, Microsoft CRM, from our rich history in on-premise based integrations. And for that, we've really leveraged that history and our kind of understanding of how the business works, not just from the technical side, but also, you know, from making it a deployable solution, from making it something that end users and you know, business consultants and different people throughout the organization can work with and use. So we didn't want that online product to be really just a replica of Insight. So we, because we really have a great solution there. So we built a cloud platform for integration, and we really expanded a lot of the things that we can do with that tool. So we created really a platform for innovation in the cloud for ISVs, a platform for partners, and really a platform for ourselves to integrate marketing, sales, support, financial applications in the cloud to traditional back office and on-premise applications like Dynamics ERP. So if GP and AX and any of the Dynamics platforms, we have adapters and connectors for those particular ways. And so with Insight, we at Scribe did all that innovation, and with Scribe Online as a platform, we're really enabling our partners in the ecosystem at large to participate in that innovation with us, creating really your own solutions. So the two applications are complementary. There's some overlap. Typically, those that are seeking really deep, complex integrations prefer to rely on Insight, as there's really nothing it can't handle from an integration perspective. It's robust, it's deep, very enterprise-oriented. For those seeking kind of lighter, simpler integrations, or those looking to extend an application to or from the cloud, Scribe Online is often the choice, and many of our customers use both. So for the sake of time today, I'm going to show our Scribe Online solution. We'll focus on that a little bit for that purposes. So let's just talk about the architecture, because that's kind of a neat part of the story. So Scribe Online is a multi-tenant software as a service platform for data integration and replication. Users connect to Scribe Online Cloud using a secure connection in a web browser. So you'll see me open it up in a web browser. The Scribe Online app enables them to create connections, design integration maps, schedule the integration jobs, monitor the results, and manage other Scribe users online, and because it's a multi-user system too. The Scribe Online app stores all of this information securely in the Scribe Online database, so that all resides up in the cloud. Scribe Online then uses a lightweight agent to carry out the actual integration tasks designed by the users. It supports both cloud agents and on-premise agents. So we've got the online agents and then also an on-premise agent. The on-premise agents normally sits behind the firewall for easier access to the on-premise applications and databases locally. So cloud agents are available for integrations between two cloud applications. So if you had two different applications, these can be CRM-based applications like CRM Online or Salesforce. A lot of folks will synchronize CRM applications with Salesforce to do migration jobs or any other of kind of cloud-based accounting, collaborations, or marketing automation applications such as the ones that we've shown here. Now, the on-premise agent can be used for any combination of cloud and on-premise applications, including kind of cloud-to-cloud, cloud-to-premise, premise-to-premise, or these kind of hybrid solutions that where we're connecting, you know, to that local application. It's on the other side of the firewall. So it's kind of pretty common today. So this same scenario applies to integrating any number of the cloud-based ISVs to on-premise applications as well. So we can bring that data. And then even combinations where people are using all these different hybrid modes. So Scribe Online is just a really nice, elegant integration architecture that you know, really provides a platform for solutions across the cloud and on-premise. So let's just get right into the application today and show you how it works real quick. So the application utilizes a web browser, so I'm logged into the Scribe Online. I'm logged into a specific account. As a user of the system, I have several accounts that I can access. So you could have different people from your team that are able to get in. So here I'm to Elm Street Investments, but I can also go to Manchester Financial Services or something like that, a different installation completely. So through one browser, I can manage and deal with all different sets of integrations that are being done. As we mentioned, the agents, you have different agents that are available. The agent, if you're installing it, on-premise, it's a 20 megabyte little teeny file that gets downloaded to that local agent, to that local machine. So we have some agents in this scenario that are running on local machines inside of the network, and one that's up in the cloud. Now, there is a notification when the agents go down. There's a heartbeat. The notification has to phone home, so to speak. And if it doesn't phone home, this is telling us that it's down and it needs to be restarted or something on that order. And you can escalate that and get notifications for when things go down. You manage your connections through the interface, and so you just choose what type of connection you want to make, whether that's a local piece or something online. So in this case, Dynamics CRM Online, I'm giving it my URL with the username and password. So we support all the different types of deployments, whether it's on-premise or using an IFD type of deployment or truly the Microsoft Dynamics CRM Online system. So you have all different types of connections. And from there, once you have it kind of configured for my agents and my connections, then you get into all the fun stuff, which is the mappings and the integration part. So one of the things I thought I'd talk about today would be a map that's one that solves a problem that a lot of us have that we wish that Microsoft Dynamics did, which is when you cascade an address change down to the contact record. So if I make a change at the account level, maybe I want that address to change at the account level, change that down to the contact. So let me just show you how you might build something like that up real quick. So if this is my address cascade. So we designed this system to use based on a interface design that MIT had designed for called Scratch UI, and it was used if you got kids in something like Lego League or something like that. It was used and is used to help children learn how to be a programmer. So so if a 12-year-old can do it, you can do it. So you have these little control blocks. They look like Lego blocks, and you just drop and drag them into place, and you can see that they only nest in the proper order or proper place, and so it helps you define your logic. So the first thing that we're always going to do is start with a query. That's the first block, and we'll just double-click on the query. I connected this while I was speaking to Dynamics CRM, my Dynamics CRM adapter. And from there, I can see that I can choose my account object. And so we're able, through that adapter, kind of connect to all the objects. So we're not down at the database level. We're connecting through that application interface and going that way. And in here, as I said, I wanted to not only, when an account changes, I want to go in and I also want to nab all of the contacts that are children underneath that and process all of those folks. So I'm going to choose my contacts here. Those are the child entities. So you can have multiple child entities in here. It's kind of cool. And so now my next control block is I want to do an update, right, of all those children. So, right, I would choose my next control block for each child, right? That would be the next one that I'd want to put in there. And, oh, wait, it doesn't fit. So I can't put it in there. I have to follow the logic that's established by the app. So the interface is telling me the only thing that will fit in next here is for each result that I get, basically for each account. Then I'm going to loop through each one of those. So that's what that little looper thing is. And so now I can tell it for each child that I get, I want to do an update. So I just drag all of this stuff over here, and I say for each child contact that I chose earlier, I want to update that contact. So I go into the entity browser here for my update statement, and I tell it I want to update a contact. And I have to give it a little bit of a matching criteria to tell it what contact to update. And in Dynamics CRM, there's a field called the contact ID. So that's my matching field that I need to use. So I'm going to choose this. Scroll down here to contact ID. Scroll by it there. Double click on that. Hit OK. So now I've got my field mapping in there, and now I just need to do the actual field mapping itself. So over here it's showing me my account fields that would have changed, and over here is my destination, which is the contact. And literally it's just dropping and dragging, drag and drop the fields over. So I want the city to replace the city, and the country to replace the country, and the county, and the fax number, and I think you get what we're doing here. So you just drop and drag the fields that you want to bring in. Now, if I want to do some reformatting of that data or any sort of what we call transformations, which this data might need special handling. In this instance that I talked about, it doesn't, but let's say if I wanted to change the case or do some math on that or look up some data in other systems, we have a library of formulas that we're able to do for converting dates and times and doing kind of checking the data for errors, that type of stuff. So we have these sets of formulas that we're able to do to handle all of those types of changes. Super. So that is how Scribe Online works. And thanks for your time, you guys.
Thanks, Pierre.
Yep.
And next we have Megan Berner of Click Dimensions. And Megan,
Hello.
I'm going to pass control to you now.
All right, let me go ahead and share my screen here.
You should be able to do that now.
All right, we should be up. All right, well, thank you so much. My name is Megan Berner. I'm a Senior Partner Account Manager with Click Dimensions. Today I'm going to give you a short overview of our marketing automation solution. Since we don't have time today to cover the whole suite of functionality, I will share my contact information at the end of today's presentation for anyone interested in scheduling a more personalized demonstration. So now Click Dimensions brings email marketing and marketing automation functionality natively into Dynamics CRM. We offer the best mixture of functionality, integration with Dynamics CRM, ease of use, and customer support in the market. Our solution itself is a managed solution that you import into your CRM environment. This will bring our entities into your CRM. Click Dimensions works with CRM 4.0, 2011, all makes and models online, on-premise, or partner-hosted. Now, all of the marketing data, including email results, web tracking data, form submissions, are brought into your CRM, structured the same way as your traditional CRM data, which means to you that Click Dimensions is fully integrated, allows you to create advanced finds, charts, dashboards, workflow with a mix of marketing data and your traditional CRM. So a couple things to mention about Click Dimensions itself is Click Dimensions is the only marketing automation vendor out there that's 100% dedicated to the Dynamics CRM platform. We are the highest ranked and most reviewed solution on Microsoft Dynamics Marketplace. If you haven't read our reviews yet, I urge you to go out and read what our customers are saying about us. We were an award winner of the 2012 Partner of the Year Award winner from Microsoft, and we are the only marketing tool that's earned the Certified for Microsoft Dynamics stamp, meaning we've gone through that rigorous testing process that Microsoft puts out there for third-party solutions. We've got a large network of CRM partners as well as individuals certified on our solution. And Matt Whitteman, an 8-time CRM MVP winner, heads up our training and support team, bringing some very valuable CRM expertise into our team. Here's a quick screenshot of a handful of our customers. You can see we've got clients in several different industries, some large senders, some very small senders. So again, a very horizontal as well as scalable product. Now, when we take a look at the features that Click Dimensions is going to bring into your CRM, of course, we've got that email marketing, giving you the ability to create and send those communications out of your CRM system in a way that's trackable. So we're letting you know who's opening, clicking, unsubscribing at the email campaign level, but also the individual lead or contact level. The web tracking goes out and analyzes who's out on your website, tells you how they're getting there, what pages they're looking at a very detailed level. Now with those, what we call anonymous visitors, as soon as they start to interact, we'll identify those visitors, tie that history to the identified contact or lead so you can take action on that and be able to move that right into your sales funnel. We score all of these activities, really help the sales team to be able to prioritize and take action. We're also giving you the ability to create things like surveys, web forms that are capturing data directly into your CRM, and landing pages. All of the tools that we provide are designed with the non-technical marketer in mind, So you don't need to know coding or HTML to be able to utilize Quick Mentions. We can tie all of these actions back to the native campaigns that are in your CRM environment, helping you to track things across multiple mediums or gather some aggregate statistics. We are pulling some social data into your contact and lead record, as well as offering social sharing on those email templates so that your recipients can go ahead and share that page or that email out on their Facebook page or their LinkedIn profile. Today I will show you our Nurture Marketing Builder so you can get a glimpse at how we can create those automated or drip-style campaigns. We also offer things like subscription and profile management, SMS text messaging abilities, as well as an integration with GoToWebinar to pull those web event information right into your CRM system. Now, when we're talking about emails, we can send emails out to individuals as a one-off. We can send bulk email communications out to a CRM marketing list. We can also execute any Click to Mentions email send to go through workflow so you can automate some of those actions. When you're creating your emails, we're giving you a couple different design options. Now, every marketer skill set is going to be a little different. We've got some marketers that have a very in-depth knowledge of HTML. They're very comfortable working in a WYSIWYG designer. We've also got some marketers that prefer to use more block-style editor. That's more of a no-code designer that really takes a wizard approach to helping you build these professional-looking emails. Now, one thing I want to point out, on all of our email templates, it's very easy to merge in fields from your CRM system. If you notice these drop down at the top here, any field that you're storing on the contact, lead, account, or sender record can be brought into a template, so you can personalize this with the first name or some account information. We can easily support dynamic content as well. So perhaps you've got an article or a graphic that you want to change or appear dynamically based on any of that segmentation criteria inside of your CRM. We can definitely handle that. Also want to point out that we have an inbox preview option on all of our edits. This is easily going to allow your marketers to see how your emails will appear in a variety of inboxes before actually hitting send. At the same time, this is going to run a spam report, letting your marketers know the likelihood that that email is going to wind up getting caught up in those spam filters. If there is anything spammy about the email, of course, we tell you what it is, so you know you may need to adjust before hitting the send button. So I'm going to actually jump into CRM here and walk you around a little bit. So let's go ahead and open that up. Now, the first thing I'm showing you here is a dashboard. As I mentioned before, all of the Click to Mentions data is brought to your CRM the same way as your traditional CRM data. So you can easily display, slice and dice this information any way you want. So here's one example that we did, taking our monthly newsletter, putting it on a dashboard. So I can easily watch my trends month by month with my opens and my clicks. I can see who's opting in, subscribing, etc. Now, Click to Mentions itself is going to live with a marketing section of your CRM. So you'll notice here in the analytics, we've got all of our web tracking. This is where I can see who's visiting my website. I can see Tracy here, for example, is identified. Here we've got some unidentified visitors. We're not creating a contact or a lead at that point because we don't have a name or an email address to that person. But once they become identified, we actually are tying that visit history right to the contact or lead record, so you're never losing any of that valuable data. Now with the web tracking, I can query based on how they're coming from. I can sort by lead score, really helping to empower you to take action on this data in whatever way is relevant to your organization. We're also capturing in web form data, so you can easily link all of those forms out on your website or your landing page into your CRM environment. So here we can see some of the forms that have come in. These are populating the contact or lead records, but we also tie this form submission right to the contact. So if your salesperson wanted to go in and see all of the activities that Shane has done, very easily done. Here we've got the email marketing section. This is where we're creating and sending those emails. Now if we take a look, for example, at an email that I've already sent, you can see I can send that out to multiple marketing lists. We show you the HTML version of the email as well as the text version, which is automatically created. And then we'll let you know the email statistics. What happened with that email? What were those interactions? What were, did you have any deliverability issues, any bounces, any unsubscribes? All of these metrics are also tracked at the individual level, so we could very easily go in, to a particular contact, see that information as well. So with that being said, let me go ahead and open up my contact record. So if you'll notice here, we've got all of the Click Dimensions entities related to the contact or lead as well. So I could go in now, for example, and see the emails that we've sent to Megan. This is a great list view showing all of the emails that I've been delivered. We'll know if I opened it, clicked it. You'll notice that they're scored as well. Then your salespeople could actually go in and click the email. That will open up the copy of the email so they can check out what that content looks like. As I mentioned before, as soon as your contacts and leads are interacting with your emails or your forms, we're also tying in the web visits right to their contact or lead record. So here you can see all of the visits that I've made. Notice we do an IP address lookup so you can see where we're coming in from. Also scoring, letting you know the duration of quality on all of that visit information. The profile is also one of my other favorite pieces within the contact or lead record. This is summarizing that information. So of course I can see all of the forms, all of the individual form fields, each page that they're looking at. But if I want to go one place and get a great snapshot of a contact or a lead, I can go in here, see recent interactions with my emails, my website. Notice we're pulling in some information from LinkedIn as well. Now the last thing that I want to show you today is our Nurture Builder. This is one of my favorite features, and this is allowing you to set a drip or nurture style campaign. So let's say, for example, you go to a trade show. While you're there, you hopefully generate so many leads that your salespeople can't call down on them within a couple of days. So we're going to put them into a nurturing program. What we've got here is a drag and drop interface. So let's say we send that first email. Thank you for stopping by our booth. Here's information. We're going to put a call to action. You know, click this link to download this case study and learn more about how we've helped businesses similar to yours. Then we're going to wait a couple days. These settings area, this is where I'll attach the template or indicate how long I want to wait. And then we can take action on that. Did they click on the link? Did they actually read that content? If they did, great. We're going to notify that sales rep so he can follow up with that person. These are going to be really the hand raisers. If they didn't click on the link, we're going to send them a different email with a different call to action, maybe register for our upcoming webinar, which of course we can track that using our GoToWebinar integration as well. In this Nurture Builder, I can also add or remove people from a marketing list based on their interactions. I could run a CRM workflow to perhaps update a status or create an activity. Then this process can be kicked off to one individual at a time or that entire marketing list like I talked through in that last example. Also on our website, we do have some great content out there for you to download. So I urge you to go out to www.clickdimensions.com, check out some of our ebooks. Very great information for any marketers using CRM, how you can track your ROI on your marketing efforts, how you can increase things with, your pay-per-click ads, again, tying all of those campaigns into your CRM. And again, here's my contact information, Megan Berner. If you're interested in scheduling a personalized presentation for your organization, feel free to reach out or visit our website at www.clickdimensions.com. So with that, I will hand back over to Jason. Thank you again for including Click Dimensions in today's conversation.
Great, thanks, Megan. That does conclude our presentation portion of the event today. And now I would like to open it up to the audience to ask any questions they may have. Again, you can use the Q&A block or the chat block that you should see to the right of the screen, and that will give you a chance to ask questions of any or all of our presenters. And I'm going to open up all of their lines at this time. And we certainly would appreciate questions that we can give multiple presenters a chance to answer. To get things started, I thought I'd maybe just ask one question that I'd have everyone maybe give me some input on, and that's the question of type of implementation, whether it's on-premise, online, or partner-hosted, and several of you touched on this, but maybe could each of you give just maybe a quick recommendation to the audience in terms of what are some of the considerations that they might want to keep in mind when assessing bringing a new solution, bringing a new component into their solution based on their implementation method, or whether it really has any significance at all at this point in time. And why don't we start with go back through the list this time, starting with Rhett.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a really great question, and I think that it really comes down to the people that may have on-premise CRM deployments in a very high security environment. We often see this in banks, and those people really do need some consideration about how would they allow their CRM system to actually be exposed to the internet in some way, because all of these solutions actually live in the web, and there needs to be communication between the CRM server and the marketing automation solution. So I think that if it's CRM Online, if it's IFD or partner hosted, you know, roughly the same thing, then those are extremely easy. But the only time that this really comes into play is this on-premise where it's really locked down and typically in a high security environment. So we have a couple of different authentication types that do enable those kinds of organizations to leverage our product. And everyone else, I think, would be just fine. That's my opinion.
Okay, great. Kevin, do you want to take a shot at that question?
Yeah, I mean, to the actual original nature of the question, you know, similar to what Rhett said, that would be the one situation where potentially Microsoft's housing financial data that you have to be cautious and you have to deal with regulations. The other would be if you're dealing in certain countries in the European Union, what their individual privacy regulations are around cookie laws, such as Germany, et cetera. I don't think that's probably something we need to go into too much detail here. To the question of premise versus hosted versus all the deployment types, I think everybody on the call vendor-wise is probably well suited to handle all the deployment types, so it's a non-issue. But to expand on that a little bit, you know, lead scoring is really a huge driver for the value prop around marketing automation, and understanding what fields you have available and which entities inside of Microsoft Dynamics when you're getting ready to implement, you know, you're going to replicate those fields in the marketing automation system, so you have those available so the information is scoreable as we're capturing information. So really kind of having a sit down with the constituents on sales, IT, and marketing, kind of sitting around a table, understanding what data points they're going to use for scoring, personalization, segmentation, things along those lines, I think is a very important discussion to have. The other would be, you know, this is more marketing automation 101. Before you go jumping off of a diving board into a pool without water in it, so to speak, if you're getting ready to do nurture marketing, you're getting ready to do multi-step marketing, you've got to really sit down and do a content review or a content audit. And marketing automation is not driven by pushing buttons and fancy designers. It's driven by what content you have available to you. So be sure that marketing and sales are sitting down and really understanding, if I'm running a 20-step nurture campaign, do I really have enough content to do that?
All right, thanks, Kevin. Pierre, do you want to add anything on this question?
Yeah, I think you guys nailed it on the head. I've worked in many different roles. Recently, I was doing CRM at a CPA firm, so I think a lot of the regulatory issues around who can be in receipt of your customer list and where the actual customer list sits, and security issues are probably the largest issue regarding the on-premise versus online. So.
All right, and Megan, give you an opportunity to touch on this too, if you'd like.
Thank you. And I would, on the marketing automation piece, I would agree a lot with what both Rhett and Kevin had to say. Click Dimensions does offer a couple different deployment options. So we do have some customers in the banking and insurance industries that are a little bit more highly regulated. Also, role-based security can really help to manage what information your marketing is pulling into templates, et cetera. But as far as on-prem versus online, it's going to work great with whatever model you're using.
All right. We have another question here, and this one, I think all of you could probably take a shot at answering this too. But the question is, and I just kind of pasted it in for you all to see, what level of internet data, like social discovery, can be gathered with these tools to establish lead profiles. So why don't we kind of rotate the order of answering here, and we'll start with Kevin this time.
Thank you. Yes. Well, firstly, to some of what you've seen today from everybody, and it is placed at the table functionality, tracking web activity. You have to be able to place a first-party cookie on the machine of the person who's interacting with you, and that's typically done via email interaction. So you open and click through an email, and we recognize your IP, we cookie you, and then we link your GUID back into Dynamics. That's typically going to happen when you either click on an email or you fill out a form online. And once we have you, so to speak, so long as you're not clearing your cookies or you're coming in on the same machine that was cookied, we'll be able to gather that web browsing history. Anonymous visitors, you're able to do IP reverse appends, and that's really, frankly, that's not new technology per se, but it's kind of like a phone book lookup. Who owns this IP is not that different from who owns a phone number. So we can oftentimes tell you what the company is, and then from there, you could take a step out, and you could start to look to append additional data, such as Zoom info data or broad look data, or data that can go in and bring in kind of profile information or inside views and other good vendors. A number of good vendors, and I'm going to give away free plugs to them, but we can start to append company level data to the record. In terms of other browsing data that we can find out from individuals, we can see where they came in from. We can see which search terms they used to get into the site. We can see which referring domains they came into. Sometimes we can kind of profile trends of what is the most commonly used set of keywords relative to the referring domain, so you can do some kind of a SEO analysis on it. Socially, a lot of what we do, we have a whole social publishing tool built in the app. We're pushing a lot of content out through social publishing, which when people interact with it, even if they're not identified yet, we could start to see which social networks are picking up our social posts and how they're being shared. Now, again, back to the cookie issue. If they do come in and they interact and they click through an email or fill out a form, we can go back in time, so long as they're on the same IP, and see what they did in the past. That's the most common kind of data that a B2B marketing automation app is going to pick up.
Thanks, Kevin. And Pierre, would you like to take a shot at this one?
Yeah, I would say that there is a lot, obviously, that can be gathered around the social discovery, and it's a little outside of the scope of Scribe's integration tool. For our piece, we don't do a lot with the social discovery at all. Really, it's much more around the integration between CRM and the data that is provided by the host applications. So.
All right, Megan.
Yeah, and I would agree with all the web tracking points that Kevin pointed out. In addition to that, tools like Click Dimensions are tracking referring hosts, so we can tell you which visits are coming to your website from things like Facebook, LinkedIn. In addition to that, telling you whether it was an organic visit from LinkedIn or somebody actually clicked on one of your ads, to really be able to identify if those ads you're placing out on social sites are bringing quality traffic to your site. And then, of course, social sharing, which Kevin had mentioned, having the ability to share that email content out on your recipients' social profiles.
Okay, and Rhett.
So would you like to maybe repeat the question, just because it's been a little bit of time there?
So the question is, what level of internet data, like social discovery, can be gathered with these tools to establish lead profiles?
Yeah, well, I think that it's pretty much in line with everything everyone's been saying, in the sense that you can understand from where are they coming. I know in our data dictionary we have over 380 different social media sites tagged, so anytime someone comes from one of those 380 sites, we automatically flag that was an incoming from a social post, so it lets you build dashboards around the top 5 social incoming things. But then again, there's a whole host of elements, such as one of the things that we happen to be doing is called social sign-in, so that when you have a form, you can actually click a button that says sign in with Facebook or sign in with LinkedIn or something like that, rather than having to have a person fill that out. And what's so cool about that is it will actually go out to Facebook and retrieve the full profile data from there. So you can ask 2 questions on the form, but the data that we get back could be 12 items. So that really helps populate the system out. So I'm not sure if other people here offer social sign-in. I think that one just kind of popped in my head as a really good one. But with the social sites out there, there's a lot of different things that we all pick up on in many different ways, and we've got another little, I guess I'm into features a bit here, but it's like Facebook posts. So you can, right from within CRM, you can schedule Facebook posts. You can make them part of a campaign that drip. You could have one go at 10 and one at 2 and one at 4, and then all the people that are commenting and liking and so forth, we actually look them up in CRM and tag them that way. So that's another way that the social data really pulls back into the overall CRM experience.
All right, great. We are at the end of our question queue. I would make maybe a last call for questions right now, and otherwise we will begin wrapping up. Okay, well, I want to thank everyone again for attending today, those who stayed on for the Q&A, and I also want to say thanks to our presenters today.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jason. It's good fun. Thanks, guys. This is Rhett signing off from the Silver Popcorn Motive side.
Thank you, Rhett. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Jason.
And thank you, Megan. Thanks, Pierre.
Thank you.
And to everyone still online, we are recording today's session, and we'll send you an update as soon as it's available for viewing on demand. So thanks again, and have a great day.